So the next logical step after collection of this plastic is processing. Very simple. So as this plastic waste comes to you from either municipalities or the landfills directly, MRF centers, material recovery facilities, which are being created for dry waste, or even from waste pickers and kabadi workers. So once you have this plastics into your warehouse, into your raw material warehouse, now you begin the journey of processing. So the journey of processing is how to really convert this mess, this material which is all mixed up with dirt and oil and grease, and even the product waste is there. So let's say toothpaste in a toothpaste tube, or shampoo in a shampoo bottle, or oil in an oil sachet, or any such things, that it has to go through a washing cycle. But before the washing, you really need to first uh, segregate the different forms of plastic when they are in a big form and distinguishable. So you actually put some people on a conveyor bed. You can do it on an automated manner also, but then your cost of the project will be far beyond 30 lakh rupees that I mentioned in one of my videos earlier. So you start looking at a conveyor bed on which the same very waste pickers or a different set of people who come in and actually start segregating these plastics in different forms. You will realize very quickly that they will have so much of knowledge of plastics that they really don't need to do any testing. By just feeling the plastic packets, they will tell you whether it is PP or a P or LD. The distinction you and I cannot make, but they will be able to. So the first step is separating the plastics into different types, because each plastic has its own melt flow index, its own characteristics, its own mechanical properties, and therefore, if you mix the plastics, then at the end, what you get is not good for any one form of plastic, and therefore, it is not very functional. It doesn't really have all that mechanical properties which any one single form of plastics can give you. So segregation is the first requirement. The second is sizing. So how do you size the plastic? You size the plastic by shredding it. The shredding process helps in two different ways. One is that it sizes those plastic packets into a size which is manageable, transportable, going to the next process, requirement of the next process. But also it exposes the inside surfaces of the plastics. So when it goes through the wash cycle, the plastics on both the sides get washed. Let's say a tube, when it gets the wash cycle, it gets washed completely from both the sides. So now you have a clean plastic uh, at the end of the wash cycle. So therefore, the second step is basically sizing. The third step is washing, as I mentioned to you. So it goes through a wash cycle. Now the wash cycle could be simple cycle like a mixie. It's called a spin wash, high speed with a little bit of an additive. You wash the plastics, and that's how you manage most of the PET flakes. But then there is also a deeper wash requirement in case of high quality plastics, which it goes through a float wash system. And we will see that in one of our catalog. It covers that completely. How does the float wash work? So the float wash system, through the flotation and washing of plastics through the tanks, we actually have a very clean, high quality plastics at the very end. In fact, it also, all the sediments remain down in the tank, so that also really helps. So that is how the washing is done. And after washing, you have to dry the plastics because you have to process it in the next time. So there is a way to dry it in spin drying, centrifuges with a little bit of a hot air. This plastic is dried and made fluffy and almost of a different color altogether. You will be amazed by the video that you can see, and I will post it in my next session. So have a look at it. So now that the plastic is created in this fluff form, uh, if it is coming out from sachets, then it is more like a fluff. It's like cotton. So you have to build the cotton back, or bale the cotton, or actually condense the plastic in form of an agglomerator. So in the case of a fluff, the plastic goes through agglomerator. So all the sachet type of plastics, the Amazon LDP bags that you get, or any other PP bags, or any other plastic material like sachet of a chips or any other, you have to, the fluff has to be condensed in form of an agglomerator. It is so it is heated, and therefore it is processed to make concentrated plastic lumps out of it. That is a process of agglomeration. However, if there is article grade plastics like HDPE, LDPE, PET, then it doesn't have to go through because it flows on its own into the next equipment through gravity, and it has its own flow properties, and is easily transferable. It is, you can collect it in bags and put it in silos and then put it into the next machine. What is the next machine? So the next machine is called, and this is the most important part of, and is heart of the entire plastic recycling, is called an extruder. So extruder is a set of a screw which is inside a barrel which is heated up to the temperature at which the plastic melts. So different plastic melts at different temperatures, and therefore the extruders are set at different temperatures. And then the pressures are set up and fine-tuned in such a manner that when you put plastic fluff agglomerated in form of plastic billets or lumps of plastic, or you put flakes of plastic of HDPE or PET article grade, it goes through this extruder and actually comes out on the other end as refined plastic pellets, as good as virgin, as shiny as what resin a big industry produces. It comes out on the other side uh, in form of small pellets, very close to the small tablets, the rounded small tablets that you can see, and I can show you in the next video. And that is available for sale. So you just put it in the raw material, from raw material warehouse to finished good warehouse. This is how the plastic uh, actually translates, and transforms itself, giving you value. In this entire exercise, very few people are required. The electricity consumption is not very high, and therefore the ROI of a plastic recycling equipment is as high as 18 to 20%. It's important to know that this kind of an ROI is not easily achievable in many industries. And when on the other side, on the demand side, you have so much of demand waiting, let's start working on the supply side and processing these plastics to create Pro India franchise and a plastic recycling industry for yourself. Thank you.